من آدم اگر یه مقدار تأمل بکنه در خصوصش میبینه میشه به ضرس قاطع گفت تنها نظریه تجربیه، تنها هیته از علوم تجربیه که برخورد تند با مخالفینش میشه. یعنی شاید دومی نشه، حداقل من تو ذهنم نمیاد واقعا دومی سراغ داریم که در علوم تجربی یک نظریه‌ای وجود داشته باشه و برخورد این چنین اعتقادی باهاش بشه. یعنی برخوردی که ادعا میشه صرفا علمی است، زمینه قرار میگیره برای یک سری تحرکات اجتماعی، تحرکات سیاسی، اقتصادی و تو زمینه‌های مختلف بعد با مخالفینش برخورد بشه. حتی مخالفینی که با همان ابزاری که اثبات شد، یعنی ابزار علمی که اومدن مدعی هستن باش نظریه داروین رو میخوان مدعی هستن ثابت بکنن، با همون ابزار اگر نقد بشه باهاشون برخورد میشه. اجازه میدید دوست عباسی یک مستندی در این خصوص ببینیم، بعد ان شاءالله برگردیم در خدمت شما بینندگان عزیز و ارجمند باشیم. کلیپ اول رو با هم دیگه ببینیم، شماره 14-4. خیلی جالبه اگر بدانید همین افرادی که ادعای به هر حال علمگرایی و تجربه گرایی محض دارند، آقایونی که قائل به عقیده داروینیست هستند، چه برخوردی رو میکنن با منتقدین خودشون در دانشگاه. کلیپ رو با هم ببینیم.
What was Dr. Sternberg's crime? He dared to publish an article by Dr. Stephen Meyer, one of the leading lights of the intelligent design movement. The paper ignited a firestorm of controversy merely because it suggested intelligent design might be able to explain how life began. As a result, Dr. Sternberg lost his office, his political and religious beliefs were investigated, and he was pressured to resign.
The supervisor invited me into his office. He said, "I'm going to have to discipline you for teaching creationism." And I said, "I mentioned intelligent design on a couple of slides, but I did not teach creationism." He said, "Nonetheless, you have to be disciplined." At the end of the semester, I lost my job.
Not only did this well-loved professor lose her job at George Mason, she suddenly found herself blacklisted, unable to find a job anywhere.
So whenever I interviewed for a job, I would be offered it, usually on the spot. Since this has happened, and since people can Google my name, I'm finding that when I send my credentials, I do get interviews, I get many interviews, but I never get offered a job. I don't tell them about my science sin. I was only trying to teach what the university stands for, which is academic freedom.
There's nothing to be learned in neurosurgery by assuming an accidental origin for the parts of the brain that we work on.
It wasn't just biologists who were feeling the Darwinist wrath. When neurosurgeon Michael Egnor wrote an essay to high school students saying doctors didn't need to study evolution in order to practice medicine, the Darwinists were quick to try and exterminate this new threat.
A lot of people on a lot of blogs called me unprintable names that were printed. There are a lot of very, very nasty comments. Other people suggested that people call the university I work at and suggested perhaps it's time for me to retire. I realized when I kind of went public with my doubts about the adequacy of Darwin's theory that I would encounter criticism. What has amazed me is the viciousness and the sort of baseness of it.
I'm an old guy, I have tenure, I'm academically safe, but the young people and what is happening to them in America right now because of this scientism gulag is really terrible.
Apparently, Professor Marks was not as safe as he thought. A few months after this interview, Baylor University shut down his research website and forced him to return grant money once they discovered a link between his work and intelligent design.
In order to attract grants, you have to market yourself. So you put up sites and call yourself labs and groups and things like that in order to get visibility. And in my entire experience in academia, I never went to any superior and asked them any permission to put up any of these labs. So the fact that this was singled out, let alone shut down, is jaw-dropping. It's astonishing. I have never been treated like this in my about 30 years in academia.
Shut up, you freak!
If you peel back the onion, I think that there is no doubt that the center of this is my work in what some would call intelligent design.
Astronomer Guillermo Gonzalez found himself in a fierce shootout with Iowa State University following the publication of his book, arguing that the universe is intelligently designed. Despite a stellar research record that has led to the discovery of several planets, his application for tenure was denied, putting his career in jeopardy.
I worried about my tenure a little bit in 2005 when the petition was being circulated because I viewed that as a strategy of Hector Avalos and his associates to try to poison the atmosphere on campus against me because he knew I wasn't tenured yet and I was very vulnerable. I have little doubt that I would have tenure now if I hadn't done any professional work on intelligent design.
Dr. Gonzalez had this advice for scientists who might be thinking about following his example.
If they value their careers, they should keep quiet about their intelligent design views.
It's the kind of thing where you just learn to keep your mouth shut.
In addition to those scientists who were willing to appear on camera, we encountered many more who didn't dare show their face for fear of losing their jobs.
You use an intelligent design perspective to get the research done, but you're not allowed to talk about it in public.
And so there is definitely incentive, if you think about it, for people to remain within the mainstream.
خب ملاحظه فرمودید بینندگان عزیز، قسمت و گوشه ای از مخالفت هایی بود با آزادی بیان در حیطه پرداختن و نقد تفکر و دیدگاه جناب داروین و یا نقد به صورت کلی داروینیست در دانشگاه مختلف که یا اخراج شده بودند یا برخوردهای دیگری باشون شده بود و مصاحبه بود با دانشجویان و اساتیدی که به خاطر پرداختن به نقد این موضوع این گونه باشون برخوردهایی در اقصا نقاط جهان شده بود و دیدید که چقدر تبدیل به یک تابو شده این تفکر و این تست.